Hey guys, today we'll be covering a 2020 drama thriller film called Runt. This film portrays the narrative of a high school senior named Cal, who is often bullied by his classmates. The movie opens up inside Cal's room where he has glued many pictures and sketches of his crush, Gabriella, all over the wall. After getting up, Cal feeds his beloved dog Runt and gets ready for school. On the way, he observes Gabriella with her friends stuck at a traffic light, but not for long because her boyfriend Vic arrives shortly after. Vic and Gabriella are the most popular among the high school seniors. Further, Hank and Big Ern are two of Vic's closest friends. Cal is bullied not only by Vic and his friends, but also by Ronnie, a troublesome boy with a drug addiction. After arriving at school, Cal is, as usual, bullied by Ronnie, but this time, he accidentally drops a rubber. Just then, Cecily arrives at the scene and picks it up, saving Cal from further humiliation. It turns out that Cecily secretly adores Cal and hopes to get close with him. Later, during a class exam, Hank and Big Ern force Cal to let them cheat, but the teacher notices them and immediately calls Cal up front. He then asks if the two were cheating on his paper. However, Cal lies, saying that they didn't cheat as he doesn't want to get into any altercation with the bullies. Inside the class, Cal often peeks at his crush Gabriella, but she doesn't seem to have any interest in him. He also draws her frequently, but has never dared to approach her. As a result, his best friend BuIIies advises him to stop liking Gabriella, claiming that she is out of reach. He also adds that Cal deserves a better girl than her. After the classes, Cal finally gathers the courage and approaches Gabriella to invite her to a school dance with him. However, she gently declines his offer, stating that nobody attends such a bad party. Cal then quietly puts a sketch inside her bag as she walks away. Later, Vic and his friends confront Cal and seize his bike, leading him to the football pitch. There, Vic reveals that because they cheated on the exam, Hank and Big Ern are going to be suspended from their athletic team. As a result, Vic bullies Cal into convincing the teacher that Hank and Big Ern had not cheated and that it is just a misunderstanding. However, Cal refuses, and this makes Vic furious. The trio then make him suffer by putting him in a garbage can and rolling him down the stairs. Because of the incident, Cal arrives late for his part-time job. Turns out that he is always late for work, and this time, his boss threatens to fire him if he does it again. After work, he rides back home exhausted from his long and painful day. However, he still takes Runt to play catch and throw. He is still doing his homework when his mother comes home late from a night at work. The next day at school, Cal is summoned by Principal Carey because a guard spotted him being bullied by Vic and his group. Vic also arrives shortly after, and Principal Carey asks if he and his pals bullied Cal. Instead of admitting it, Vic claims that he was only trying to teach Cal a lesson since he had been stalking his girlfriend Gabriella. Vic even displays a sketch that Cal had put in Gabriella's bag. After seeing the sketch, Principal Carey dismisses them and warns them to watch out in the future. After the classes, Cecily approaches Cal and invites him to the dance party. However, Cal declines, saying that he is not interested. At work, he struggles to finish his work, and his boss constantly scolds him. While he's riding back home, he notices Cecily sitting alone by the library and smoking. Cal then joins her, and the two bond while smoking together. Later, Cal takes Cecily home on his bicycle. The next morning, Gabrielle apologizes to Cal for Vic's behavior while they sit in a group study. She tells him that Vic is possessive and doesn't let other guys come near her. As an apology, she invites Cal to a party at Vic's place. BuIIies becomes extremely happy to hear this news, but Cecily becomes jealous as she doesn't want Cal to go after other girls. After school, BuIIies convinces Cal to attend the party, stating that Gabriella may finally be interested in him. Hearing this, Cal finally agrees. Later that night, Cal and BuIIies attend the party, although Cal seems disinterested in it. He becomes more upset when Gabriella entirely ignores his presence. As he is about to leave, Cecily shows up and the two get busy talking while a drunk BuIIies embarrasses himself in front of everyone. The couple goes outside to have some private talk, but to their misfortune, Vic and his friends notice them from upstairs. They quickly come down and again start bullying the couple. This time they go too far as they lock Cal inside their car's trunk and start harassing Cecily. Hearing the commotion, Gabriella arrives at the scene and pushes Vic to the ground. Cal also manages to get out from the trunk and tries to pacify Cecily, but she is deeply traumatized by the incident and runs away from there without speaking a word. Vic tries to claim innocence, saying that he wasn't harassing Cecily, but Gabriella is having none of it as she saw the whole incident with her own eyes. The next morning, Cal is furious at BuIIies because he was the one who forced him to attend the party. He confronts BuIIies about it, but he retaliates, saying that Cal is just a coward who doesn't fight back against his bullies. After the squabble, the two part their ways and stop talking with each other. Meanwhile, Gabriella tries to apologize to Cal, but he ignores her totally. After school, Cal discovers that someone has cut his bicycle chain, which makes him late for work again. This time, his boss fires him without any hesitation. Enraged by the situation, he decides to take revenge on Vic. Later that night, he takes his mother's car while she's asleep and sets Vic's car on fire. The next day, Cal skips school and instead goes to Cecily's house to apologize. However, her father answers the door and informs him that his daughter isn't at home. Cal then waits for Cecily at the library, but she doesn't show up. In the meantime, Hank and Big Ern spot Cal and start following him. Cal somehow manages to hide from them, and while returning home, he visits a weapons store to get something to defend himself. Later that evening, Cal receives a message from Cecily asking him to come to her place. After meeting her, Cal expresses his regret about the incident at the party, but she assures him that it was not his fault. As they are talking, Cal suggests that she inform the police, but she replies saying that she doesn't want to escalate the situation. She further adds that her father is a drug dealer who has been in and out of jail frequently. If he finds out about the incident, he will surely try to eliminate Vic. As Cecily doesn't want her father to go back to jail again, she prefers to remain silent. The next day, Cal returns to school after being absent for a week. There, BuIIies approaches him and apologizes for breaking his bicycle chain. Hearing this, Cal gets furious as he lost his job because of BuIIies' silly act. In the meantime, Vic and his friends are certain that Cal was the one who set his car on fire. They capture him after class and rough him up badly in front of everyone. But this time, Cal, who is sick of being bullied, gets up and fights back with the brass knuckle he had bought earlier. Looking at his courage, Cal is appreciated by everyone, including Ronnie, who asks him to join his gang. Cal quickly accepts the offer, and Ronnie drives him to his home. Before leaving, the gang invites Cal bowling later that night. At home, Cal plays with Runt and later heads off to meet his new gang. There, Ronnie informs Cal that his stepdad had mixed bleach in his narcotics, which caused him severe complications, including broken blood vessels in his head and a migraine for several months. He also adds that it took a long time for him to recover after the incident. Later that night, Cal calls Cecily to his home while his mother is away at work. They spend some quality time together. Meanwhile, Cecily praises his courage for fighting back against the bullies. The next morning, Cecily gets ready while Cal prepares food for Runt and calls him to eat. After seeing Cecily off, he returns to find that Runt is still not there. Worried, he searches the area for Runt, but discovers a bloodied baseball bat on the ground. After following the blood trail, he is shocked to find his dog's corpse in a nearby trash can. This devastates him, as Runt was the only one who's always been there by his side. Enraged by the loss of his beloved pet, he heads to school and confronts Vic about the killing, but Vic denies his involvement. Despite this, Cal makes up his mind to take revenge. Sometime later, students gather at the school gym to cheer on the football team. However, when Vic addresses the crowd to cheer for the team, they instead cheer for Cal when he arrives. Getting irritated, Vic calls Cal a loser, and when Cal tries to fight back, Vic makes a whining dog sound, revealing that he had in fact killed Cal's dog. Hearing this, Cal immediately flees the scene and becomes more determined to take revenge. Later that night, Hank and Big Ern have planned to use narcotics to boost their stamina for playing well. While everyone is enjoying the match, Cal uses the opportunity to teach him a lesson and mixes the narcotics with bleach powder. After the intervals, when Hank and Big Ern inhale the mixture, they experience immediate complications and are rendered unconscious. Luckily, they are then rushed to the hospital. Cal then goes to Vic and intimidates him by laying out his losses. He then lures Vic to a lonely place and starts beating him with a baseball bat. He urges Vic to confess to killing Runt. However, Vic confesses that he had gone to beat Cal, but his dog got in the way. Meanwhile, BuIIies and Cecily look for Cal, suspecting that he might be in trouble. After a while, BuIIies finds Cal and Vic fighting and interrupts them by firing a gun. Cal then seizes the gun from BuIIies and aims at Vic, ordering him to apologize for killing Runt. Left with no choice, Vic apologizes to Cal and promises to surrender to the police. Just then, Cecily arrives at the scene and persuades Cal not to shoot him, saying that it will not bring Runt back to life. She then convinces Cal to punish Vic in a different way for everything he has done. Handing him a baseball bat, she suggests Cal break Vic's arm for abusing her and eliminating Runt. She hopes that this will teach him a lesson so that he will stop bullying people. Agreeing, Cal starts punishing Vic with the bat. Afterwards, Cecily promises to face the consequences together with Cal. The movie ends as Cal and Cecily attend a homecoming dance party, as police sirens are heard in the distance.